Thank you so much for staying tuned. It's all about political situation in the country, party primaries and convention. That's what we're still dwelling on, and after that we'll dive into reconciliation, because that's what some state governors and of course power brokers are trying to do in their state. In some states it's happening, while in some others the division is getting wider and of course wider. With me here in the studio, I have a one-time vice chairman of Igor local government, and of course one-time acting chairman also of Igor local government, political analyst and entrepreneur. Join me to welcome Honorable Desmond Ubo. Welcome to TMI Sunday's edition.
Thank you for
It's been a long time,
Yeah.
It's like you just went off the grid.
Sometimes you go off, sometimes you come refreshed and with much information from the public.
This other person I want to introduce is a vibrant youth and entrepreneur, and of course a political mobilizer. Join me to welcome Samuel Ehigato, aka Aras. Welcome to this morning on ITV Sunday's edition. You choose to follow his own step. You just disappeared. I'll be like, where are you? Be like, I'll be calling, I just can't make it. I'm like, tie down and stuff like that. Is that how you guys want to operate this time around?
I will really apologize for that, but Sunday morning, most times that's when you usually do some quick walks. So it took me a lot of time this period, but I'm back.
You're back. Fresher.
Fresh and hijack.
No problem. Honorable Desmond, I want to start off with you. You are in the political scene. I believe that you've seen a lot from what is going on right now in various states in Nigeria. People are saying that it's all about 2023. And of course, my first set of analysts are saying the story remains the same, no changes. It's the same thing that Nigerians have seen before. That's what they are seeing even now in this dispensation. Do you disagree to that?
Well, yes, like you rightly mentioned, anything that has to do with politics is about interest. And when interest is involved, a participant and those involved with the polity have to carve a niche for themselves, grandstand, make arrangements, evolve activities that will favor them in the final permutation of political journey. Prior to any congresses, there is bound to be agreement and disagreement. A situation where those who are involved want to have a say, have a control over the polity, and to also dictate who becomes who or not. If you watch carefully, in every political party, before and now, there's always a kind of crisis preceding every congresses. Not talking about convention now. It is what you get from the Congress that you take to a convention to ratify and harmonized. But prior to every congresses, you see people making arrangement to ensure that the proper foundation is laid. And that foundation is ensuring that those that are in the hem of our affair, from the ward to state, to local government, to state to federal level, are those that they can easily call their own. So that when it comes to feeding a candidate, it is very easy to skate through. And that was the reason why when the issue of electoral amendment came on board, we were anticipating, advocating that let every card-carrying members have a say over who becomes a candidate that will fly the flag of a political party. But the reverse is not the case. There were a lot of issues, a lot of factors that they put in place that negates the realization of that amendment, ensuring that to go into party primaries, you allow every card-carrying members to take part actively in it. But they consider the implication, the financial implication, the security implication was the reason they adduced that made it impossible for the president to assent to that bill. And when the National Assembly finally reconvened, they do it the other way and return to status quo, ensuring that the party will not have the choice to either use the direct primaries, indirect primaries, or the use of consensus. All these are certain arrangements designed to ensure that even the minor political party now will have the means to skate through when it comes to conducting a party primaries. But today, I will tell you that the crisis that is bedeviling most of the major political parties today was actuated by the congresses they conducted in their respective chapters of the party. Because, you know, like I said before, in my own case, for example, I was summoned to a judicial shrine for not supporting a particular candidate during the party congress. And that looks very fetish and very funny. Seriously? Yes, I was summoned to a judicial shrine by the contending forces. And today, I'm unmoved. So you are laughing over it. You are smart to judicial shrine. Okay, in a normal claim, or in an ideal situation, you're supposed to lobby me. You talk to me to support you. Okay. If I don't support you, there is no point going to extra length to support me. All right, now, like for others, they take their matters to court. Okay, now you just hold on. Go to judicial. You just hold on. And that is the crisis. You just hold on. Hold on. We want to go for a return. We'll continue this discussion talking about being summoned to a judicial shrine. Well, that is a new aspect of this discussion. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Thank you so much for staying tuned. We'll range on that break so we can make one or two adjustments to accommodate one of our new guests in the studio. Has been observing and watching, listening. Jimmy, to welcome political analyst, youth mobilizer, a politician, and of course an architect, Theodos Irabo. Welcome to TMI Sunday's edition.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your coming.
Thank you very much.
All right. All right. Well, in course of our discussion, Honorable Desmond will open up, that's a kind of one that he was summoned, well, while he was still, you know, in government, right? No. Okay. In the immediate past Congress. For my refusal to support a particular candidate. You're summoned to like come and swear affiliation, or what do you call it now? Anyway, I will come back to you. Samuel, you heard him. It's all about the convention, party primaries, talking about political situation in the country. So what do you feel about all this? He gave you a live testimony of what happened to him. Moving it to the diabolical part of it. Take it up from there.
Well, thank you, Wilson. The problem we have in Nigeria, I keep saying, is the internal democracy. Until we get the internal democracy right, we will always have a problem with our flag bearers, who later contest to become whatever they choose to be, whether to be in the Senate, to be a governor, to be a president, or whatever position being aspired for. Because if we don't make it right to make sure that the people's choice right from the beginning is being carried, if we have to still remain in this politics of leadership, that the leader says, the leader want it like this, some certain people want it like this is who we want, we will never progress. We will never have the right people there. Why? Because first and foremost, these same people you choose from the grassroots, from the ward level, they are the one to make the decision when it comes to the contestant, to choose the contestant. So if you didn't get it right there, to have the right ward executives, if you didn't get it right there, to have the right local government executives, if you didn't get it right there, to get the right state executives in the position that the people wanted, the people's choice, they are the delegates. They are going to choose the flag bearer. Because you, the common member, have nothing much to say. Because if you look at our system of congresses these days, it is the selected fews that goes there. And these selected fews, in most times, are being mobilized by individual contendants, financially and otherwise.
Yeah.
So most times it happens that the highest bidder usually take the flag bearer. Most times. It has only once happened that I can remember in the history of Nigeria, during the presidency of Muhammadu Buhari, the immediate president, that not the highest won the Congress. He won based on what the people believed in him, what the people thought he's going to do for us, all those made him to come over those that were sharing dollars and otherwise during the convention. So what we need to do, let's make our executive a direct executive primaries.
All right.
That the people chooses who are there. Let it be opportunity that 2, 3, 4 people comes out to contest for the chairman of the world. 2, 3 people come out contest for the youth leadership. Also on and so on. Let the people now choose. This is our best one day.
All right.
But in a situation that the leaders go into the house, they hold their meetings, stakeholder meetings, and come up with a list of those that prefer choice. The preferred choice will always be able to be manipulated. Because you did not come there with the voice of the people. Just like what my brother was saying. Good. It is not the first time we have seen a lot of politics of voodooism, you know. It has right from time be part of the Nigerian politics.
Okay.
Because if you look at many years back, even though it's no more just open and rampant now, when elections are coming, you find out this situation where kids get missing. A lot of kids get missing, a lot of things happens that are not normal.
Okay.
So what do the kids do with them? Most of them, we hear them, some be pounded, sorry for my language, you pound the kid just because of power. Right. So it has been a long time. But really happy today that it is reducing the kind of in the public fair, but does not mean it is not still happening.
I'll come back to you, Samuel. I'll come back to you. All right, you just hold on. I thought both of them confirmed, the dark side, so to speak, of this party primaries, party convention, picking up a chairman, a particular political party, particular ward or local government, you just name it, all in build up to 2023 election. So what's your experience like?
I think talking about party congresses, like what he was saying, I will not totally agree with that, because the truth of the matter, for anybody to come out as a world chairman, you have an open field for everybody. You can contest. Whether leadership sit down in the comfort of their right and write a list, you can contest against that list. Nobody is forcing you to take that lead.
And if you contest against the list, what's the probability of you winning?
And that is your own problem. If you mobilize, well, you can win. No, you know why? People are usually afraid that if 5 leaders sit down together, if I want to challenge, I might lose. But it's not always that. It's not always the case. I will give an example in our Eastern Northeast constituency, one House of Assembly election. The leadership pitched tents with some candidates. That last 2019 election, they said, oh, this is the person that is most qualified. Actually, if you listen to their debate, it was the best, because we organized a debate in my local government among the aspirants. He was astounding, his delivery was perfect. Everybody said, oh, this would be the right candidate. This is a leadership debate meeting now. With his presentation, we already biased. Now, we'll look at it. But somebody got there that day and took the ticket. So it's all about leader, don't say this one. If you are confident, if you do your own work well, you can always overturn any decision. That is when you actually know that you are still lobbying leaders. At the same time, you are saying the one when leader talk not go work, because not all leaders deal with you. It will work. Right. But if you know, oh, I've been doing my work, I've been going around, you can still get it. You get some word. You go, they'll say, oh, these are preferred candidates for world youth leadership. Now they will go and mobilize boys on the street, because it's allowed. As long as they are card-carrying members, you go for an election. If they say, okay, you people should do this, even in the national convention, PDP national convention, there are 2 youth leaders running for the post of national youth leader. If you look at that convention, it was more or less a consensus. The chairman was consensus, everybody. But youth, they said no, that they must go to defeat. They went to defeat, and one defeated the other. Even as big as PDP, that they say, oh, we'll ensure that this is going to be a consensus thing. But at the end of the day, people still went to defeat, and one defeated the other. So if we are not making it seem that leadership will just sit down, it's not usually like that. It's like that most time, but you can still overturn those decisions. That's just what I want to vote.
Yeah, you see, we have different folk for different folk. when it comes to political party, going into party congresses and primaries. It is the leader that will evolve the pattern with which to go about the congresses or primaries.
The leader.
The leaders.
No, not the party constitution. It can't be leaders.
Okay, you just
hear me out.
let him finish.
The leaders does not have their own personal constitution. It is the input of the leaders and from what is written in the constitution that they use in carving out how the congresses or the primaries will go.
Yes.
Because anything outside the party constitution is a subject of litigation thereafter. So when the leader says it's going to be consensus and congresses were done or primaries were done using same appellation, and you now go outside the leaders or the party arrangement and begin to contest it and say, no,
I don't want.
you are against what the party says. It is what the leader says is the party's position. Then you are on your own. When the party says, let us use indirect primaries, and you are fighting that it should be done using direct primaries, are you not on your own? So at the end of the day, it is not the most popular candidate that will emerge. It is what the leaders want that will eventually emerge. Taking into cognizance the position of the political party today, it is clearly understood that the governors of the states are in charge. How? Funding is one thing that determines the popularity and the chances of any political party. If the fund is not there, how will you mobilize people from the unit to the ward, to the local government, to the state, and even to the national level? It is the funding. If the governor is having that access to fund, he is thereby controlling to some extent, large extent, the direction through which the party is going. And that is why today party are organizing primaries, and we are also hearing pockets of agitations, hues and cry, a product of the congresses that were done at Benicio. You know, like I said before, when you are conducting congresses, it is not the best person that will emerge at last. It is that which the party wants that will emerge.
Okay.
If you sound so sharp, when I mean sharp, you know it all. The party leaders will not consider you.
You shift yourself.
Because by the time you get that position, you cannot look at the faces of the leaders and tell them that their ways are wrong, that it should be done this way. And that is the reason why they tend to look for that person which they can corner, which they can manipulate. So that is the reason why when I said I was a victim of political voodooism, it is because I stood upright to say, no, this person cannot lead us. We've tested him, he is not to be trusted. If you are a party chairman, for example, from the ward level, you are somebody that I call shepherd, political shepherd. You go after party members. Your conduct, your reach out to people, your relationship with people is what makes more people to come and join your political party.
Okay.
If your characters are deductive, if your characters are unproductive, how do you now reach out to people, even people in other political parties, to come and support your party to win? There and then the leaders will now come in to say, look, this body will become very unbearable to us. We need somebody that will assist the leaders to reach out to people and bring out political argument, ideas that will give party victories. Not the ones that are deductive in nature.
I will come back to you a little bit, Desmond Ugbo. Well, you heard him, but Theodos brought a very strong point. Is it the leaders or the constitution that one should focus on?
Listen, who created the constitution of the party? Is it not same leaders that sat down together in a stakeholder meeting and decided to create a constitution that will guide the party on? It's leaders. They sat down. They produced this constitution. And then in this constitution, they put some certain things there. It's just like, sorry, I will use a Bible to take as an example. You know, when you read Bible, sometimes you understand it in a totally different point of view. And I will read the same Bible. I will understand it from a totally different point of view. That is what the leader did inside the Constitution. In the sense that you say, okay, you have an opportunity of concessions, you have opportunity of indirect primaries, you have opportunity of direct primaries. Why? Because the direct primaries is the best. It is open, it is transparent. The only problem we have with it, it is expensive. Good. We now have the indirect primaries and the concessions system. Those two systems are manipulative. Why are they manipulative? Go, the Constitution has said this is our issue, go. You pick some, that the indirect, you pick some few delegates that are boughable, that are bribable. Let's be sincere. We see it when it happens in the stadium last time, how the money was flowing everywhere. So let us not deny the truth. To say the leaders are not the ones also deciding how it goes. Then if you talk of the concession system, who still sit down together to decide it? It is still the leaders and it's them in their stakeholders meeting. You are not there. I am not there. Mr. Ugo is not there. My brother probably might not there, except when he was a youth leader in PDP, and he was opportune to be in the stakeholder meeting, to be able to speak his voice. But most time, I will even tell him, in as much as you are even in the meeting there, you might have some observations, you might have some reservations about the decisions made, and you speak it out there in that stakeholder meeting. That's the meeting took place around 4, 5 o'clock in the evening. You have spoken your truth, and you believe they have told you they've heard you, and everybody have agreed. Then 1 o'clock in the midnight, or 2 o'clock in the midnight,
they have another meeting
again.
In your absence.
Where you are no more there, that speak too much truth. That speak always how it goes, how it's supposed to be right. You are no more there. And then the next day, they will bring out a list, which are by nature, when they are reading it, you have the agreement that these were the people really yesterday.
Okay.
But inside you see some that the names have been changed.
That's the work of the leaders
Reshuffle.
now.
Yes, it has been reshuffled.
Okay, I will
So
come back to
when
you,
this
sir.
reshuffling take place now, you will now come and tell me that the Constitution is the way they use it choosing those people.
I'll come back to you. You heard it, Elders. They talked about manipulations and meeting in terms of reconciliation and the rest of them. Take it up, and they say, look, the leaders are the key.
They're the key.
Because they're the one that
you
you come about constitution, you come together in some meeting, you are included in some other inner caucus meeting. If you're not amongst the leadership, you're excluded. That's why you get to see some things that you never investigate. Hence the term, the more you look, the less you see. Take it up from there.
I think different political party and a different mode of operation. You see that most times PDP comes out and the process seems very flawless and clean. How do they do this? There is what we call zoning, whether leadership or not. You have leader. There is no place where you don't have leadership. There is even in motor park there are leaders. So there is no organization without leadership. So let's not demonize leadership. Leadership is no. What they are saying that leaders will always do caucus. No, there must be leader in anything for anything to go. Even as friends, you must have someone that anything he says, people seem to like just key into it. Even in friends, even in an informal environment. Yeah. So let me talk about my party, the one I know of. If it's PDP, for example, position will be zoned to each local government. If, for example, when I became the youth leader, the position was zoned to Eastern Northeast. If you like come from the Igwebe to contest it, you are wasting your time. You won't even have such opportunity. That's why the process.
But in that Eastern Northeast, you have others to vie for that same position.
Yes, we have over 4 around.
And that's where the leaders come into play.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
In each environment, you now have those leaders now that will now look at the character of everybody and say, oh, this person should go. Or this person should not go. Because people, anything you do in this life, people look at your antecedents. They see what you can do or what you have been doing, even your own small capacity. That if you now give this person a position of authority, he might
magnify what they have been doing in a very small scale. That is it. So that's the beauty of our party, that things are zoned to different places. Leadership, they are made to sit down to also look at it. But if you also say you don't want, you go to the field. But most times people might have reservation that leaders say, may I wait first. Let me just wait. Maybe next time they will reconsider me. There is always people that controls every environment. If not that, people will kill themselves. I guess that is what we see in the other party, where people think, oh, I can do it with my own power. That being said,
but there's still reports of this same thing happening in PDP. It's like it cuts across.
You can't compare it now. PDP scheduled their national congress in less than 2 months. We are done. People have been planning their own for over 2 years. So let's not compare the two parties. And they have court cases everywhere. They're inaugurating. People are fighting. It's not the same. You will not have all those kind of. There is no place where you don't have crisis, but you cannot compare the level of crisis. We were also talking about direct primary being the best part of it. It's not. It's never. It's even the easiest way to ring election. Let me point this out. For example, in 2019, President Buhari got 15 million votes from Ole Kano for primaries, party primaries. So he got 15 million. General election, President Buhari got 15 million. Total Nigeria. So where did all those party members of APC a Kano went to? How many votes did he get in the general election in APC? Put PDP, APC together, it was up to 3 million. So where is the other 12 million? So it's just a way of writing results. Osun State, the same thing, during Osun election. APC candidate got 800,000 votes from their party primaries. General election, it's got 300 votes. Where are the other 500,000? They sit there in the comfort of their house. They say it's direct primary. This one is in the field. INEC, it will take INEC. It took INEC almost 5 days to compare presidential election where Buhari won this last one. But in the APC primary, they did over 15 million in a day. Which stadium is in Kaduna where you can get people to sit down together and vote 15? It's even the easiest way. Why indirect primary? Everybody sat down to vote for me, to represent them as a youth leader. So when I now get there and I'm casting my vote, before you go, people will also call you, oh, boy, I beg, now this person will go like, oh. So it's now left for you to say, oh, should I represent the people that sent me, or I will represent my pocket? I don't know if you get it. Indirect primary is cheaper because you don't face the worries of carrying everybody from the ward to a venue, because you already sent a delegate to go and represent you. And there are other delegates, not just party ESCO. After party ESCO, the 5 people from the world, we do ad hoc, 3 ad hoc delegates.
All right.
If you are not comfortable with the 5, you have opportunity of voting those 3 that will join them. 3 against 5, you're almost there. So it's for you to just lobby one person and you win.
Over to you, Honorable Desmond.
You see, I have been in the polity for over 3 decades. I was a former world secretary under PDP from 1999. So there is no way we will come here and begin to advertise our political party. If I don't mention my political party now, I know many people know me to be a member of APC. But we are not here this morning to begin to advertise our political party or to condemn the other political party. We are here to discuss the system, how it is done in Nigeria. Look at the political situation in Nigeria. Primaries are convention. We are not referring to one political party now. It is what you have in PDP that is also done in APC. Because they are the same actors. We can't come here and begin to deceive people. Even the people you are deceiving, they are laughing at you.
That's not true.
You are only confusing yourself. You are not convincing them.
Hold on, he has the floor. He has the floor.
The reason is because, you see, the figure my friend is just reading out here is his own personal imagination. I am a member of APC, a chieftain as a that. So I don't know where he got his figures. To say 15 million was gotten from one particular state during President Muhammadu Buhari's primaries, and when it comes to the actual this thing, he couldn't get such a thing. You see, that one is tantamount to campaigning, a campaign economy as that. But let me also tell you this. Every political party chooses their own way of choosing their candidate. Our own party has chosen to use the indirect mode of primaries. When we are talking about, or rather canvassing, that the direct mode of primaries should be adopted, who were having the premonition that, yes, once that one is adopted, every members can participate.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that you have to convey all party members to a particular venue, because the units are there. When you conduct your election, actual election by INEC, it is using the units as a point of contact. So INEC can as well also devise a means calling all together to a particular ward to conduct a primaries using direct mode. The use of delegates is the most fraudulent act, most capital intensive, and at the end of the day, you see people going after some particular candidate who are not supportive of their choice. Just like the one I mentioned, that when it become unbecoming, they now choose the Buddhism aspect to say, no, you don't support me, I will summon you, lie on you. You know, Shaitan does not tell lies. So you go there, go and tell them what you see. You can go and sleep. Whatever you see in your dream becomes your lot. But let me tell you this, that in APC, I'm not here to converse with a political party, but to ensure that the right thing is done. If we are talking about Nigeria, we should be straightforward, to be truthful, ensuring that the best practice, whether in party A, party B, or party C, should be done to right the wrongs of the past. If we continue on party line, that this is what we are doing, our own is better, the other one is wrong, at the end of the day, it's still the same 10 and 10 pence. Conducting primaries, the litigation we have in court is not restricted to particular one party alone.
All over.
The crisis, like I said, was attributed by the Congress, the fallout of Congresses. If what I support, at the end of the day, the leaders now say, okay, you wait, just like what he mentioned, you wait, it will be your turn next time. Won't I cry out? If I am crying out, I can use different means. It all depends on your own training, your own conscience, to take it and say, I will wait for God. It is only God that gives power, that will take power from you. Position is transient after all. That 4 years is not forever, 3 years is not forever. I will wait. If I'm alive, I will take what belongs to me. And by the time you say, I'm going to court, does that also take the right away from you? To ventilate your anger, the best way to go without taking arms is to go to court. And allow party mechanism to also resolve that at their own end. So the cases in court that regards political party today is not because that the system is entirely bad. People are trying to ventilate their anger. People are trying to fight for their rights. And they choose whatever means they know best to fight for their rights. It's not left for the party at last to use the party mechanism to resolve that which is attributed from congresses and to primaries.
All right, thank you so much.
And that is where the reconciliation committee is being put in place by all political parties. It's not restricted to one political party alone.
Okay, well, I choose to allow you to react to some of his comments. He has done that already. I don't want to dive into that. Figures and no figures. Let's leave it at that. Now, sir,
we're here to educate. True, that's right. I'll be quoting newspapers. And I'll tell you, I
calm down. Now, Samuel,
it's not an issue now.
Now let's look at it.
Gentlemen, let's focus, please. Let's forget about the past in this particular discussion. Okay, you've spoken yours. He has reacted. Let's leave it as that for now. So Sam,
after miseducating the masses.
So Sam, he said his own political party, they have the way of doing it. And of course, Honorable Modubo said, look, it's the same thing, all right, in almost every political party. Now, if you take a look at Nigeria in general, reconciliation is far from the two major political parties. Either PDP is having an issue or APC is having an issue. So despite the mechanism put on the ground to check this rancor, is not working. So I'm blaming it on a 2023 election. What's your view?
Wilson, I would like to tell my brother something. I know he likes PDP very much, but should not be sentimental. This issue of Congress's primaries, litigations, it is in PDP, it is in APC, it is in APGA, it is in Labour, every political party. If If I'm not happy, I have a right to say, okay, I go to court. If I don't want to wait for the party reconciliation mechanism. Because the reason why most people go to court, we should also ask that question. It is because majority does not believe in the reconciliation committee, because they are the same leaders that are there choosing by some city leaders to be the leaders of the reconciliation committee. And if these people on the backside have already told you, please, Samuel Egia, you pause away now. You understand? And you now say, no, I will not pause back. You now go to the party reconciliation committee. You meet them. You discuss with them.
All right.
You vent your ability. But at the end, we say, it is what the leaders have told you before.
Okay.
That you should step back. It's still going to happen.
Now you just hold on.
That is why you see people
Sam,
now.
hold on. Want to go on the break? When we return, you continue with your chain of thoughts. Okay, we'll be right back. Don't go away. Thank you so much for staying tuned to this channel. If you just joined us, this is TMI, Sunday's edition. It's all about political situation in Nigeria. We're taking a look at primaries convention and, of course, reconciliation. I'm here with, seasoned analysts, politicians. They are all involved in politics, both in the two major political parties in Edo State in Nigeria. That's the reason I choose to pair them in this particular discussion segment. So, Sam, go ahead with the point you were making before we went on break.
Like I was saying, whenever this Congress takes place, you have the opportunity, according to the party, that if you are not satisfied or that you were not carried along, you have a right to complain to the disciplinary committee or the reconciliation committee of the party. Afterward, you are not staying satisfied, you have the right to go to court. But recently, we now see a new trend, unlike that usual procedure, that whenever somebody is not satisfied, he doesn't even want to go to the reconciliation committee because he believes he's not going to be heard well. And that what he has heard before is still going to be what he's going to hear. So for that purpose, they jump quickly to the court. Good. Where we have it wrong also, which the court also have it wrong, the court is supposed to have asked, have you gone through all procedure of your party? Because it is written there in the Constitution. But the court, because they are also interested in this big money coming, they take the cases up.
Are you blaming the court for taking the cases up? Are you blaming the court? Because you guys went to the court.
Yes, listen to me.
It's not about the money, it's about what you want.
Yeah, listen to me. The court should also be there to be an advisory body. Let us be sincere. It is not every case like in Germany. I remember when I was there, there are some cases you take to court. They will send you to a particular sessions where there are judges and lawyers. They will go through the case. They will advise you. Have you gone through this? Have you gone through this? Has these people discussed with you? They now know what is real.
Have you exhausted all other options before you come to court?
Yeah. Before that case will not be recommended to be heard. If it's not yet exhausted, they will also give you a recommendation to there's a kind of a court judiciary system.
Arbitration, court of
arbitration. They will not send you to that place that those people should come in first. Before not all the cases you just take, that you just bring it to the court. Because in Nigeria, there is big money involved in it. Let me tell you the truth. It is not because they have all this mechanism too. But because the big money involved in it, the lawyers don't want that procedures. The judges don't want those procedures. So they pick it up. That is why you see cases, whether PDP, whether IP, they are all over. In Port Harcourt, in Abuja, in Lagos, they are court cases. Because the money, the business is booming for them.
business.
Yeah, it's a business. Wow. You said the 20 just now, number 4 became number 1, number 3 become number. So it's a big business. They were paid well. Things are happening because of the kind of system we have in Nigeria. We need to correct these things.
Right.
We need to understand one thing. Like my brother also said something. I'm not demonizing the leaders. I am a leader too in my party. So as a leader, I know people listen to me. But there are 2 types of leader.
There are leaders that have the general interest of the people to carry the people along. There are leaders that have their own self-interest to build their interest, to build their carcasses in the process of their selfish interest, because one aspirant is in his own intent to come up. Well, there are leaders that will always speak the truth. There are leaders that will always stand for the upright. You understand me? So there are some situations, people like Ogbede Yama, I'll take an example. Such people, he is a lucky man to even get this position. He is. Because people that are agitating, that speaks, most times they will not be carried along. You just give an example of somebody that won a debate, that did very well. Everybody have already said he is the best. He is the one we need. But after the stakeholders meeting, and the indirect and directism, and the concessionism, everything changed. Somebody else came up. I do understand. Somebody else came up to become a candidate. So there are so many things that plays around. We need the leaders, yes. But let our leaders learn to be upright. Okay. Whether in the APC, whether in the PDP, in the Labour, whichever party. Let them be upright for truth. Right, let them be upright for the sincerity of tomorrow. Because if we don't get it right during the party system, whatever we produce to be the governor, to be the president, will never be the right person.
I'll come back to you, sir.
That is my belief.
Well, you've heard it. Now, as 2023 is fast approaching, you don't even see reconciliation as it is or it was in the past. You get to your party members coming together, all of them just trying to make one of the things to happen. It's like the divide is widening. Do you see the approach of this election turning the tide of all this retinue of court cases, both in APC, PDP, ABGA, SDP, you just name it, it's there? Do you see it bringing this party together for a common interest, which is the #1 seat in the country?
Anyways, I think I want to buttress the point of what I was saying more. Yeah. Talking about a crisis, reconciliation, I think the major role that we need to look at is the court process. And Nigerians, being individual politicians, we are always very greedy. You will just know that this person won me. It was clear. You still go to court. Because the judicial system have not helped the process also. At all. Anything they see, they will just take it. And there are miracles, they are not becoming a miracle center, where somebody that came fourth can become #1. Where somebody that is #3 will become #1.
It depends on your arguments and proof according to what you say.
Yes, no, that's what I'm saying. That is where the problem is. When you see somebody that didn't run for an election will become the governor of a state like Yaya Bello, that never contested the election.
Hold on, I really want us to stop mentioning specific reasons, please.
I'm talking about
it's done to defend themselves, so I want to
I'm not even talking about it. I'm talking about the judiciary.
The system.
That is now a miracle center. That is where the problem is. Not even, and you see that people, you know, they can't even win the election. They will say they are running for election. Immediately they lose, the next thing they go to court. They are looking for how can we do this. Lawyers will tell them if we do this, if we do that, we can get this.
Technicalism.
That is the problem. It's not about the parties now. It's the individual, it's the actors that are playing it. People that want results when they don't even deserve results. People that want position, trying to skim their way through it. And some persons have miraculously gotten there, like Imo State also. Those are the things that we should be looking at.
Are you not getting a judicial system? I'm talking about the Supreme Court's judgment. I wouldn't want you to throw mud on that judgment. Please, let the government.
No, we are humans. Yeah. There is court of general masses. There are court. We also have court. Yeah. We have court of our conscience. There are something that will just go wrong. Everybody will just laugh. Agree. No, this one will not work. There are some that will happen. Everybody will say, "Oh, this is fair." It's not you. If you are a judge, doesn't mean you are the only one that have sense, or is the only one that knows law. There are things that you just know. The conscience of the people are in alliance with this. So, in trying to reconcile people, even this amendment B, they should have hammered more on the courts. Give Stephen Miller, though they did that the primaries must be organized way before election so that all litigation will result before election, which is a welcome development. Let's see how we can sanitize the system before going to election. Not while you're in court, while you're running for election, you have court to go to. At times you might even forget about the court and you'll be doing your election. After everything, they'll say you didn't reply so, and you will now lose everything.
So thank God for those clauses that they put in. They ensure that the process is already clear before you go to court. Not everybody coming to challenge you. It must be somebody that around with you. Those are welcome development to sanitize the system. Right. I guess that is what the legal part can do. Why in the party, there must be disciplinary measure. Any member that goes to court without exhausting those options, it should be expelled. Yes. He should be expelled out of the party. Suspend him out of the party because there must be sense of decency. That's why there is a constitution that you must follow. If you think you can jump the gun, you just jump and go wherever you are going to. Not in our party. Yeah. The party must be supreme.
Here you come again with your party issue.
I'm talking about supremacy of the party. A party is a unit of its own. They just called you in to use the platform. Yeah. So when you should not just now take advantage of it and scatter the whole thing. Let the party be there. It's just because of hunger. People don't pay dues to the party. The party needs to be restructured. The party needs to be self-sufficient so that money will not induce decisions of the party again. Right. When the party is self-sufficient, you know that I'm even running for election. It was the party that brought SY amount for me. It was actually the party that sponsored my election. That is how it used to be. And it should reverse back, not looking for money back to support the party and also for support his own aspiration. That's where everything is going wrong. The party need to realign themselves, look for a mechanism of raising money, because it will even help you put the people in power in check. When they are not doing well, you cannot call them down. We sent you for this. Please ensure you follow the party manifesto. The party used to have a manifesto. Not candidate not coming out to say, oh, this is my agenda. No.
All right.
The party is the vehicle that drives you into conviction. The party should have an agenda for you.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Theodore. And that is our last line of the discussion because our time is up already. Honorable, your last line, please, on the discussion.
Party
Don't forget also 23 in
party reconciliation. You know that it is, you don't blame the hawk. It is the mother hen that exposed the chick before the hawk. There's no way blaming the judiciary more. It is the party members. When the party system fails, that is why they have recourse to the judiciary. And the judiciary now capitalize on the weakness and the disunity among the party to now begin to even perpetuate more division among them. Talking about reconciliation, recall that some of these political actors, they are fond of imposing people on the party members. When, for example, a local government party chairman single-handedly impose somebody to be a ward chairman with sharp deviance of the input of the leaders of the ward, what do you call that? And if any petition arises from the ward to that same local government party chairman, will he address it? He would address it. Any voices from that ward now condemning what the FGA chairman has done now will be tagged as an enemy or a rebel. Such a person will not be invited to an FGA leaders meeting again. And that is what is in practice in virtually all political parties, including my APC, including my local government. So the best bet is that we should think of putting people with the right conscience in position. If not, we will continue to get it wrong. Talking about party members paying their dues, it's even in the party membership card. There is a column where you're supposed to be paying monthly or annually. Because he who paid the piper, they take the tolls. The power is supposed to reside with the people. The power of the party is supposed to reside with the party members. But when one money-back politician just come, they want to pay secretariat rent. One person just bankroll it. They want to host party leaders. One person foot the bill. Then the person will become a demigod. Everything will now be given to him. So that is where the problem lies. Until the right thing is done. For some of us who know the right thing to be done, we can't find our way through because the system is corrupt. Those in the corridor of this political party is corrupt, and we will continue like this. The only thing we pray for is that those that are following us, the best we can do is to teach them the right conscience, the right act, so that in the nearest future we will continue to to right the wrongs gradually.
Thank you.
But as it is now,
Thank you.
the same 10 and 10 pence with all political parties.
Thank you so much, Honorable Desmond Dubois. That is the last line of the discussion. And of course, Samuel, briefly, our time is up.
Well, listen, I don't have much to say. The only thing I need to say is that we should advise our leaders of the parties, we should advise our members, they should all take party matters serious. Because if you also see some issues that also lead to these issues, if you don't attend party meetings, when they call meetings on the wards, you can never know what is happening. You only come to party when election is coming. You cannot be informed. You cannot be able to be a partaker. So our members should take party meetings more serious, like the dues, all those things very serious, so that they are the dictator of who comes next. Not leaving it to the leaders to decide and only to be called to be informed. So they should be the one to tell the leader, this is what we want.
All right.
So, and then, last and not the least, is the issue of this reconciliation. My brother just said it. If you don't agree, and you did not go through the procedure of the reconciliation of the party, and you jump to court, be suspended, and then be disciplined in the party. Because that will also correct a lot of wrongs of some people believing I can jump past it and still get it.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, gentlemen. I know you have so much to say, but our time is up. You heard them. Exhaust all party mechanism put in place to solve any internal crisis before you go to court. One give an example of what happened in German courts that actually exhausted every other means before you come to court. If yes, they have other places they'll send you to. They'll be like, okay, fine, let's now hear the case. That's what is happening in Nigeria. Don't forget that 23 is around the corner. Everyone is jostling each geopolitical zones. They really want to prove a point. Are saying it's our turn. Bring it here. Others are saying no. We still want to do more good for the country. So leave it open for us to come in. What's your take? What do you feel about all this? Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on today's show.
Thank you very
I appreciate
much.
your wonderful analysis. And don't forget that the opinions is theirs. It has nothing to do with ITV, but they did their best possible to follow rules and regulation governing the airwaves. Do it again next week, God willing. We'll go get a PBC. Bye for now.